Do you want to know how much money I paid to be a race driver? Wait, what? I paid to be a race driver? Yeah, that's right. It seems like nobody knows it, but 99% of racing drivers in the world pay to race. No, what are you saying? Lewis Hamilton earns 40 millions per year. How can you say the racing drivers pay? 99% of racing drivers in the world pay to race, even in Formula 1. But why does a racing driver pay while a football player is paid to play, even in the low levels? Let me explain. Let's take football, or soccer as they call it in the USA. What do you have? You have the teams and you have the players. What are teams? They are a sporting club representing a whole city, often made by millions of people who are passionate about football and who pay money to go every Sunday to watch the match on the stadium. So who are the players? They are athletes with talent and skills, which the stronger the players, the stronger the team. So the stronger the team, the more the team wins, the more the players earn. Okay, but how much does a player pay to play? Well, nothing. He just needs shoes, shorts, a t-shirt, a ball, and a field to run and play. Obviously, the more you level up, the higher the cost, like the stadium, the electricity. But ideally, to play football, you just need a ball and a field. So what happens? It happens that the sport clubs, which have tons of money, are willing to pay lots of money to get the best players in the world. Because the better the player, the better the team's results. Okay, now let's talk about motorsports. Who do we have? We have the players, the drivers, and the teams. But unlike football, aside from this, you have the vehicle, which costs a lot of money. Usually the vehicle belongs to the team. And what is the team? The team is not a sporting club representing a whole city. The team is just a garage. Nobody cares about the team, unless we are in Formula 1. So the team doesn't have the interest of a whole city, they don't have a stadium, it's just a workshop that spends tens of thousands or millions of dollars to buy the racing car, and who still needs to find money to race. Then you have the driver. What is a driver? It's still an athlete who, if he hasn't the best car on the grid, will never be able to win, even if he's the most talented driver in the world. So paradoxically, it's not like football where the team wants to invest millions of euros to get the best player. But it's the opposite. It's the driver who is willing to pay millions of euros to get the best car. That's crazy. But let's see the costs, starting from the low level. Football. You need a few hundred euros to rent the field and to pay one referee. You need a ball. You need coach and managers who do it for passion and usually are the players' fathers. You need tap water, spitting on the ground, insulting the referee's mother. So, what are the earnings? A few parents on the grandstands paying the tickets to watch the match, and who spend all the time insulting the referee's mother. Whatever, the earnings are low, but also the costs are low. But let's look at the potential. What if in that club the new Messi is born? Or what happens if that club reaches the highest league? Now, let's take motorsports. I'm talking about Europe. I don't know how things work in the USA. I guess they are all the same, but you know, in NASCAR they have more money, so maybe things differ a bit. Costs. What are the costs to race? You need to rent a track, which ranges from 15,000 to 40,000 euros per day, which have to be divided through all the teams. At least 100 marshals, ambulance, judges, race director, technical controls. And then you have the wear of the car or motorcycle. The tires, the fuel, the damages, the mechanics, the travel, the transportation, the overnight stays, since you usually stay away 2 to 3 days. Listen to this, in big circuits like Mugello or Monza, you pay 200,000 euros per weekend just to rent the track and the services. So the costs are huge, but what about the earnings? I mean, you have sponsors, right? But you have to understand that while playing a football match may cost 300 euros divided by 22 players, racing a race starts from a few thousand euros multiplied by 22 racers. But wait, there must be a game somewhere. For example, let's think about the potential game. What if in that team the new Hamilton is born? Okay, but What if that team grows and reaches the national championship? No, wait, it's already the national championship. Yeah, every championship I'm racing is already the highest class because there is just one championship per class. So in football, if you invest a few €100 or even nothing, if you are born in the favelas, you have a concrete chance to become a multi-million-dollar player. While in motorsport, if you invest multi-millions of dollars, you have almost zero chance to become a driver with a salary. Well, actually, in cars the chance is almost zero, while in motorcycles it's a bit less difficult. Why? There are a few reasons. For example, let's take Formula 1 and MotoGP. MotoGP, how much does a racing team spend for a season? We don't know for sure, but if you read this article, you see 10 to 15 millions just to run the team without marketing. And Formula 1? Now we have the budget cap, but in 2019, Ferrari spent 463 millions in one season. I don't know if that includes the marketing, but you can see that it's more than double the budget of the whole starting grid of the MotoGP. Also, this is very important. If you put Lewis Hamilton on the Williams, he will never win a single race. While if you put Marc Marquez, the old Marc Marquez, in the slowest motorbike on the grid, he will probably do a good result. Because in the motorbikes, the rider counts more than the driver on the cars. So, the motorcycle rider spends as long as he's a kid, but if he finds the right way, the right team, the right people that believe in him, he can find a way to race for free and get paid when he gets to the MotoGP. While the car driver keeps paying for his whole life, even in Formula 2, even to get into Formula 1, unless he finds an academy that pays for the career, but many drivers actually pay to get to the academies. Or he is so talented and so lucky that his name is Lewis Hamilton, and even if he was born poor, he finds a way. But how many Lewis Hamilton there are in the world? Now, you've probably read articles like this where you see the Formula 1 driver's salaries, and you may say, look, what you're saying is bullshit. See, all Formula 1 drivers have a salary. It really gets me nervous because with those articles, people think that I have a salary as a driver. Latifi earned 1.2 million a season. Guys, if Latifi brings 40 millions of sponsorships, do you want to give him a salary? Yes. But is the team who's paying Latifi, or is Latifi who's bringing money to the team? So the thing is simple. The top drivers of the top racing teams in the world, or the top drivers of some official racing team in the Endurance Championship or in other championships, are paid to race. But that's just the 0.1% of all the drivers in the world. All the other ones pay to race. Either pays the driver because he's rich, or the driver brings sponsors that cover the cost of racing. And trust me, I even know drivers who race for official manufacturer teams who are still paying to race. Not full price, but they're still paying. So, how much money did I pay to race? That's a good question because I have no money. If you watch Draw My Life, which is the video where I tell my story on YouTube, you have probably seen that I was born poor. So where did I find the money to race? The answer is simple. I have a YouTube channel, which here you see small, but in Italy, the Italian version of the channel is huge. That allows me to find sponsors to cover the cost of racing. So in 2021, I raced 3 championships. I will show you in detail the cost of all the 3 of them, but I will not tell you how much I paid because I can't do that calculation. Because some things have been paid in visibility, like I don't pay that component if I advertise that component, or have been paid by sponsors, or have been paid by the team who wants to invest on me. So I will tell you the price if I wasn't a YouTuber. Keep in mind that all the prices are not VAT included, so you have to add tax at the end. Smart E-Cup. Yes, we raced with the electric Smarts. The season has a fixed cost of 19,700 euros, which include rental, transportation, car lift, tires, electricity, hospitality, mechanics, free practice, qualifying, and 2 races per weekend. Basically, you pay the registration and you find everything ready. The only thing you have to pay extra is obviously the suit and the helmet, the license, and the damages. There is a 3,000 euros deductible, which means that you pay damages until 3,000 euros, but if you do more, the extra you don't pay. And in the season, I did a total amount of 4,527 euros in damage. Yeah, I messed it up a bit. So the total cost of the season was 24,227 euros. Now, Legend Cars. Fantastic car. Some of the best races of my life. You can see them in this channel. The thing that I really loved about this car is that the racing is very cheap. The tires last forever, you don't burn a lot of fuel, the tests are super cheap. So the total cost of the rent for 8 racing weekends made of 2 races each and 10 test day was around 15,000 euros. Then you have the entry fee for the championship and all the private tests that I did. I did many tests, like 10, in a very small track where it's cheap to test. So the total entry fees were about 5,000 euros. And then we have the tires. As I said, the tires last forever, so I used only 4 sets of tires in one season for a total amount of 2,000 euros. We have damages. I didn't do much damage, even if you consider that disaster that happened in that unlucky day. So I did around 2,000 euros damages in the whole season. So the total budget for the 2021 Legend Cars Italian Championship was around 24,000 euros. In the end, we have the Formula Predator. This is a very fun car. I did some of the best races in my life in that car, but that was a very unlucky year. We had so many problems due to new technical regulations that made the car less reliable, so we spent too much money on damages. Anyway, once again, the car was not mine, I rented it, and the total cost of the rent for 7 racing weekend and 2 test day was around 32,000 euros, which was a lot. I'm not including the entry fees. For the championship was 3,990 euros, while for the private test was 1,750 euros. Then we have the tires. They don't last forever. Considering that I didn't do many tests, we used 5 sets of tires for a total amount of 4,033.5 euros. In the end, we have the damages. I didn't do damages actually, but the car broke in every weekend, so the team had to pay 5,145 euros. Most of the damages were not charged on me, but we have to include it in the racing budget. So the total cost of the season was 45,490 euros. So if we sum all the 3 championships, we have a total amount of 93,717 euros, which if we add the VAT, we get 114,334 euros. If we consider the kilometers, the cheapest season was the Legend Cars. In 2022, instead, I raced in the Euro NASCAR Championship, and do you wanna know how much money I paid to race with a Euro NASCAR? If you like this video and leave a comment below and I see that the video is engaging enough, I will do also the video about the Euro NASCAR. Guys, help me spread this channel because it's dying and it takes so much effort to make the videos in English. As I said before, I don't have those money. I was able to find them thanks to the sponsors. So I want to thank all of you, all my followers, all my sponsors who made these racing seasons possible. Thank you guys. See you soon.